Woo! What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Thursday. We made it through another week. Super excited for our guest. Got Mr. Lenny Bazemore joining us tonight. The mogul himself. Manny Young's Man of the Year. But I'll let him tell you guys. But definitely excited to talk tonight and share his story. And definitely share some gems. Make sure you guys hit the link in my bio. We did open up signups for our second boot camp. The first boot camp was amazing. We did have some people who had success right in the first 2 weeks of the boot camp. Some people were able to obtain business credit, $15,000 or more. One of our members also was able to get pre-approved, and they are also under contract with their first property. So that literally is a 30-day window of starting the boot camp, finishing it, executing it, and now they're on their journey to being a landlord, buying their first property in Chester. So if you or someone you know is interested in learning the real estate game, feel free, hit the link in my bio, and let's help you figure out your goals. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lenny Bazemore is loading. He's logging in. He's here. What's going on?
Brother man, what's good?
Nothing much. I'm loving that view. Wow. Okay. That's amazing. That's the rooftop.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Look, I'm loving it. You come right in giving us motivation. I love it.
It's what I do.
So, for those of you who don't know, this is the Mr. Lenny Bazemore, Man of the Year, set the tone in Manny Young, broke some milestones and barriers for us in Manny Young as well as one of the leading developers. But I won't keep and just let people know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, let me give me 1 second. I'm adjust this volume.
Okay.
I'm outside on the deck, so it might be a little windy. I don't know. Can you hear the wind?
We're good though. Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear him? Yeah, you're good.
Good to see you, man. Yeah, where do you where you want to start? This is my first time ever doing a live, right?
Well,
probably the last,
right.
But it's not my thing. I'm a private person, you know what I'm saying? So I try not to, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but full disclosure, I don't even accept any more social media requests, man. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
I try to spread a positive message, but I try to pull back, it's a privacy thing.
Look, we definitely understand, especially the world's day and times we live in. So, we definitely appreciate it and we want to be mindful of it. So, but with that said, while we got you, we might as well make the best of it. So, can we start back from, your journey of like, you were doing, like, how'd you get into real estate? Let's just start with that. Like, what led you to real estate?
That's a question. Well, my grandmother passed away, and the funeral was down in Macon, Georgia. So, my family went down to the funeral, and I stayed with my cousin Rick, and he had a nice long driveway. Before we went to bed one night, I was like, yo, Rick, because, I stayed at his crib. I said, how'd you do this, man? How'd you get all this? He was like, real estate. I said, do you think I could do real estate? Because I was a young bull searching for something, anything, to get me out of where I came from, And he was like, do you have integrity? And I said, absolutely. He was like, will you put your clients first? Do right by them every time. I said, absolutely. No question. He was like, then you could do real estate. So what I did was I went to school, I studied, and I got my test. I passed the test. Now, check it out. took me 5 times to pass that joint. How many times did it take?
You said how many times did it take me?
Yeah,
Took me 10 times.
yeah. That test ain't no
Yeah,
joke, man.
it's right. Definitely. It took me 10 times, but you know, once I got in the game, I ain't looked back ever since. Once I
Same
got in,
here.
to give me a chance to get in.
So basically, I was a realtor, and you know, I hung my license with Salomon Real Estate out in Plymouth Meeting. Now the cool
Okay.
thing is, you know, I mean, I worked at the Glen Mill schools at this point. I was night man, you know, third shift. You know, I work all night, get off at like 8:30, get a shower, do for a full year, man. In a year, I worked 2 full-time jobs, but only one paid. I didn't do a real estate deal until my last month in December. That's crazy, man. I worked a whole year at a real estate company, busting my butt, learning the tricks of the trade by old school real estate people. And my last month, not my last month, but in December that last year, that first year, I sold up a place. My commission was like $1,200. I thought it was like $1 million, man. You know, so at that point, I did both for a while, and then I ended up getting fired after 10 years of working at the Glen Mill schools, and I had no choice but to do real estate full time.
Wait, you said you got fired?
I got fired, man. I was out checking doors one night, which is really funny because it was a cush job, man. You know, if you get the rover, it's called. You go around making sure everything's straight. That's a cush job. Problem is, it started raining, and I went to check a door. There was a little slope. I slipped and fell. Bam! I heard a, you know what I mean, in my back. I went to physical therapy and all that. And one night I couldn't come in. So basically, I called out sick, and there was this new manager from the second shift. He was like, "Look, I don't like you anyway." Next thing I know, yo, and I'm gonna tell you why he don't like me or didn't like me. When he first came to the third shift, none of us really liked him because he didn't understand third shift. And in the morning we had meetings, and so he was a smart ass kind of guy. So I was standing next to the trash can, and I finished my bottle of water, and I threw it away. He said, "Excuse me." I said, "You're excused." He was like, you know what I mean? One of those things. And
Right.
then we all left. I went to get in my car. He came flying around. "Get in my car." I said, "Man, stop talking to me like that."
Right.
He's like, "Can you get in my car?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." Got in the car. He was like, and this is my manager, man. He was like, "Why do you treat me like this?" I said, "Mike, listen. I wake up, I come here, I do my job professionally, and I leave. I got kids just like you, man. I ain't got time for that extra stuff."
Right.
And you know, my back was still hurting. I called out sick one night after 10 years of quality employment. I got a call. "Look, man, we don't need you no more." I'm like, "Are you kidding me, man?" Because of this dude.
But during all this time, you're still pumping real estate during them 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So I had a backup plan, but it was still devastating because, you know, at the time I was making like 35,000 a year,
Okay.
and I know it's not, you know, it's a lot of money when you come from where I come from, but I mean, man, I was trying to get extra on top of that,
Right.
and he just took all that away, and I got 3 kids, man.
Right.
You know, so the funny thing is, when I got fired, I was going through a divorce too. I was married 8 years, first marriage.
Okay.
So this is crazy. I went through a divorce. I lost my job. My first house that I bought got foreclosed on, and my car got repossessed all at the same time.
All this just back to back to back.
And I'm not talking Lakers championship. I'm not talking Sixers championship. It was
Right.
back to back to back to back. And listen, if I wasn't a resilient dude, I'm just saying, man, it was hard. It was real hard.
Wait. Can we time out right there?
Yeah.
So mentally, what do you tell yourself to keep going because I everyday life burns you out as it is. Just enjoy everything going.
Man, I shake my head. Let's go. Let's go. Right? Number one, I shake my head, snap into it, and then I look above and say, please, please hear me. It's a simple prayer. A simple prayer. Because I'm the kind of guy that if something happens, not now because my wife is like my road dog. She's my, you know what I mean? My best friend. We've been married almost 11 years now and
Congratulations.
together 15 years. So everything's her, like everything. So, but before I would close up, I wouldn't share anything with anyone. So I was like a clam. And so I held it all in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The only person I ever talked to was God, man. That's it. I put it all on God, man. So in my worst days, I put it on God. My best days, I give praise. It's crazy, man. He's the only one that got me through that stuff, man. It was hard to get through that shit.
Nah, so between your faith and then pushing through, eventually you met your queen,
Yeah.
and hey, that's when the light bulb went off, or like
Listen. The light bulb went off just before I met her. Because what I did was, I called my mom. I said, Mom, I'm having some trouble as a man, as an adult. You know, like I need to talk to you. And she was like, all right, I'll make some time for you. We talked. I got everything I needed to make the next good decision. You see, my father really wasn't in my life like that. I had a stepfather at the age of 2. I lived with him. He barely said 2 words to me my whole life, living in the same house. I didn't meet my biological father until I was going in the 9th grade. So what's crazy is I was on a football team in 8th grade. We were playing the championship game. I scored like 3 touchdowns. I threw one halfback option pass, and we win. So it was on a high school field. So that high school pastor or priest, it was a Catholic school. He came to me and my mom, and he was like, "Listen, I want you to come here. I know you don't have any money, but I will pay for everything: your school, your tuition, your books, your clothes, whatever. If you come play football." And I said, okay, I'll think about it. So that happened. 2 minutes later, I went from an extreme high. 2 minutes, I walked over to the sideline and I met my dad for the first time in a whole nother family I didn't even know I had. So I went from an extreme high. Kind of message was later. I was going with this stranger to his house, and so my whole life was like, you know what I'm saying? So I had that heart to heart with my mom, like this messed me up back then. And she was like, okay, here's some things. And she filled in a couple of blanks. And that led me to go seek out a life coach because I was yearning, man. At this time, I was still doing real estate, right? And I was working in an art gallery. You see what I'm saying? I was an art consultant selling artwork.
oh,
2007, you know?
right, but wait, but what about the life coach part? What happened with the life coach? Like, or
Listen,
what?
listen.
Or let's just even
That changed my life, bro. That straight up changed my life, man. Because I'm a clam. I don't really talk, and so I got this stranger asking me specific questions, and she was like, "All right, what's your home life like?" I said, "Well, I don't live at home no more. My home in West Philly. You know what I'm saying? Some old lady's house. Aunt May was her name. She took good care of me because I was down, man. I ain't had no money. It was just horrible. And so basically, she said, okay, what's your family like? I said, well, my mom's straight up like awesome. She worked a full-time job and a part-time job. And my dad, he's an alcoholic. She goes, I'm glad you said that because now I know why you're here. So I was having troubles because of my father. The issues that, an adult alcoholic or drug addict causes in the family is straight trauma. So being a brother from the neighborhood, right? I grew up with trauma, dealt with racism, trauma, dealt with losing my football scholarships. I was a Division I recruit. all across the country. I had Division I school, scholarships. And this dude, my senior year, you know, he picked a fight with me. I backed away. I kept walking. He went to hit me. I went to hit him. Next thing you know, I got expelled from school. That's
Ooh.
a whole nother story. So I had trauma after trauma after trauma every stage of my life. So to this life at this point, it made a lot of sense, right? That I was seeking someone else outside of my network. And it was a stranger. So it was easy for me to open up. And she taught me simple principles, man. How to cope, how to and I got a whole nother story that'll blow your mind. But I got stories for days. But she basically gave me the tools necessary to start building a foundation of self-awareness and self-respect. And as soon as that happened, you know, the rest is history. And at that point, like soon after, I met my wife. We were friends for like 6 months before we even decided to date. So that's really interesting. That's the first time that ever happened. You see what I'm saying?
But wait, but can you hear me? Right,
Yeah,
but
I can hear you.
let's real quick though. Can we dive into the part about those life skills of learning to cope, self-awareness, and building out your vision? Because as I'm
Yeah, I mean,
slowly learning,
it's
can you go
yeah.
ahead? Go ahead.
Check this out. First thing she said is, "It's not your fault, right? That your dad is like that. It's not your fault." Man, that was half the battle right there. Because I'm like, what did I do? Like this, almost burn her house down. Can't keep a job. All this nonsense. Like, never walked me around the corner and told me how to kiss a girl to a girl. Never told me about nothing, man. Nothing. But living in the same crib. So I had to deal with that
Right.
trauma, and she opened up. I opened up, and she taught me, listen, number one, it's not your fault. Number two, I can see that your self-esteem has been shattered. I said, well, I wouldn't call it shattered. I see, you know what I'm saying? I'm Lenny
Right.
Bazemore, you know what you know what I'm saying? But she was like, look, okay, you had some issues. I said, yeah, I'll admit to that. And so she basically gave me principles to forgive yourself. It's not your fault.
Oh, did we lose you? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all still see me? We just waiting for him to reconnect. Can you guys see me? He must have lost his signal, man. But I know he gonna jump right back in, so don't go nowhere. But those gems he just gave us right there were, I don't know if y'all peeped it. Like, yo, he just like, the reason why you're not reaching your success, or any of us, one, we gotta have a vision. Two, we gotta be able to adjust, and be able to cope with things. And then three, hold on.
Yo, I'm back. I'm back. Just like that.
Well, nah. So I was just telling, why you jumped out. I was telling him, I don't know. I was just reiterating what you were saying. Like, at least what I took from it was, one, have a vision for yourself. Then two, be able to cope and let things go. Don't harp on things. And
Be
then
able to ask
then
for help.
so be able
Cause
to act.
yeah, because I mean, as a brother in America, you know, sometimes it's hard for us to like step down off that pride and ask for that help. That help, asking for help, is the most important thing you could ever do in your lifetime.
Mm,
In every aspect. I mean, look, if you're 2 years old, you hungry, you ask for food, right? Can you feed me?
right.
You know, if you lost, you driving down the road, you lost, you don't have GPS, you don't have a map, you stop over at the gas station and you ask for directions.
Mm,
It's all the same, man. Life is all about seeking help. Life is all about seeking new direction. And sometimes you got to pivot, because if there's a do not enter because of an accident, that happens to you, or that's not your fault, but you've been subjected to something that got you off your path, you need to redirect and keep it moving. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But yeah, she taught me some simple principles based on how to cope, how to number one, know it's not your fault, but ask, you have to forgive yourself because you put yourself through all that mess thinking it was your fault for all those years.
Right.
So you got to forgive yourself no matter what. Forgive yourself and allow yourself to blossom and grow into the human that you want to be.
So, just one more real quick. In the how do we like figure out who we want to be? Like I feel like so many people, like myself, I struggle with one day I think I want to do this, another day I think I want to do that. Like
Yeah.
how do you even stay focused on where you think you want to go?
Well, a lot of people make that decision based on money, right? Everybody I know makes that decision based on money. Like, oh man, I want to try this. I want to try this. This doesn't work out. Oh, they take this job. This job doesn't work out. I can get some money over here. You know, everything's about making money. That's a problem, man. But it's not, right? Because I do have a motto. Because most of the homies that I grew up with, most of the people that I grew up with, you know, they don't really have much. So it's like, I mean, they got jobs and, you know, cribs, but, you know, they're not millionaires and they can't just go buy any car they want. You know what I mean? And that's cool. You know, they made decisions in their life, and as long as they can take, you know, a little vacation here and there and supply, you know, what they need for their family, that's all that matters to them. And I support them 100%. But some of them will say, you know, there's more to life than making money. And I agree with them. There is more to life than making money. But then when you dig down deep inside your mind, that's not really accurate. You see what I'm saying? Because we all want more. We all want to figure out a way. A lot of times it's a get rich quick. Like, oh man, I can get into real estate real quick and get rich. No, that's not how it works. All right? It's not how it works. It's a long journey, and you got to make all the right decisions. And even if you do, you still may fail. So back to what I was saying with my friends, there's more to life than making money.
Okay.
My motto is, there is more to life than making money after you make the money. Right?
Right. If you
But
got
you know what I'm saying? But you have to determine what that amount is.
right.
I mean, it could be 100 grand. It could be 50. You know, it could be $1 million. It could be 2 million.
Right.
Only you, it's a personal thing. There's more to life than making money. I mean, there's more to life than money after you make the money. And you have one goal. I want to make 25 grand. Well, there's more to life after you make that 25 grand. You just got to make sure you do the right thing the right way till you get the right results.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no cut and dry case, man. Like, my story is my journey. It's everything I'm spitting off here tonight is my experience. I can't speak on anybody else's experience, only mine.
Right. So as you grown and like, all right, you got married, you made it through the trauma and the trials and tribulations, I guess. What was that process of, the level up? So it's like, especially being in real estate, I'll speak on real estate. You start out selling, like you said, $1,200 commissions. Then you move up, you get 5, you get 10. But at some point, you got the momentum because you took your real estate business and turned it into your investment business and started buying commercial properties.
Yeah. Well, let's go back. Um, you know, I was a licensed real estate agent for 6 years, 5 years before I met my wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, my client list, my clientele were investors. I would find them a deal, and they would go in and fix it up and then give it back to me as a listing. And
No.
that worked. Yeah, that worked well for me for many, many years. And then my wife came to town. She was from St. Louis, originally from Virginia. She came to town. We met. We were friends for like 6 months. You know, it was a different type of relationship, man. We used to go out play pool. You know, I'm into, you know, the opera and symphony and all that. You know, straight from Northtown, but I'm different. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And you know, we went to lunch one day and she was like, "What you do last night?" I was like, "Oh, I went to the Barbra Streisand concert." She was like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Yeah, I like Babs." You know what I mean?
Right.
So we kicked it. And for like 6 months, we just got to know each other. And then we got more serious after that. But the fact is, when we started getting serious, I was working in an art gallery in Rittenhouse Square, and I was doing real estate, like a few doors down at Mike Dunphy Real Estate, Whiteyard, right on Walnut Street. Yeah, so on the real, I owe her a lot because, man, she was a corporate executive. You know what I'm saying? Corporate executive. I didn't have to worry about taking her out, like whining and dining her. She made her own dough, and that was a blessing when she came to me and was like, "Look, do your thing right now. Take all the risks you want." You know what I'm saying? Because I could hold us down.
Mm.
We don't have any worries right now. We can't go out and buy whatever we want. Like
Right.
going to get a Mercedes Benz it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Going to get that new car was not going to happen. And she had a real good corporate job,
right.
but she was on the rise, you know, and I was basically in transition. Now, although I was a real estate agent for 5 years before I met her, I really, really couldn't. It was hard for me to figure it out because all I did was think about making money. And so she was like, and this comes from her. She was like, "Listen, leave the money alone. Forget about the money. What's your passion?" I said, my passion is art. My passion is real estate. She goes, "Don't worry about the money. Go do your passion." And so at that point, I was like, "All right, yeah." So I started selling more. At that time, my daughters from a previous marriage came to live with us, and we didn't want to raise them at 15th and Fitzwater. So we ended up buying a crib up on the main line. You see what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that's when I really just, man, I was making good money, but I wasn't making like the money I make now. And the fact that my wife had my back, I didn't have to worry about finances. I could take multiple risks that I normally wouldn't take because I would be conservative because I don't want to waste that money or, you know, take a chance in losing that money. But
Right.
she's like, "Go for it. Anything you want to do, go for it." So I went for it, you know, and she was a very good cushion for our family. And so
So
I went up to Gladwin. I was working in Prudential Fox and Roach at that point.
okay.
I did a major deal on the main line, and this seller, not going to mention his name, but he was an asshole. Okay, and so check this out. Check this out. After settlement, this is a property that was on the market for 20 years, 10 different real estate agents, and I sold it. I sold it because I marketed it to Europe. Two doctors from like Sweden or something came over and bought it.
Nice.
Straight
Nice.
in Gladwin. You know what I'm saying? At
Right.
settlement, I had a bottle of champagne. I was happy, man, because after being on the market for 20 years, I thought I did something good. And
Right.
he was like, "Oh man, you could have got me more money. You know, you were probably working with them behind closed doors." I said, "You know what? I ain't gonna say it here, but I said, flap you. I don't think you know who you talking to." And you know, I said my name. My name is Lenny Bazemore, and you don't know.
Right.
So I walked out. I was like, I was fed up. I gave it my all selling that house. And I got a really good price for him. So I stormed out. I gave the receptionist my bottle of Moet. I jumped in my X5 because things were better. And I went to the crib. I was storming. My wife's like, "What's wrong?" I said, I'm done with real estate." She was like, "Okay, what happened?" I told her what happened. And she goes, "What's your next move?" I said, "I'm going back to college. I'm going to be an architect." She goes, That's what's up. And it was because of her that I ended up going to the community college of Montgomery County.
Okay.
I ended up being a board member there, but I got a fine art degree. I was getting ready to transfer to Drexel, and I realized something. I'm really good at art. I'm really good at being a painter, right? So I went and shot my artwork around, and I didn't want to put it into any gallery. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy a building. And that's when I bought my first building in Manayunk.
So I'm gonna rewind though, right? So it was easier for you to make better decisions when you took the pressure off yourself about chasing the next dollar. You didn't.
Nah, let's be real. It was easy for me to take the pressure off because my wife was like, I got you. You can take mad risk. You can just go out and run. You don't have no worries. Go run. And that's when everything clicked.
Right, but even with yes, your wife, and definitely salute to the queen. But I'm just saying, in the context of it, for those if you don't have a spouse, the click part though, don't chase that dollar for today. You really want to chase things that's going to put you into position for tomorrow.
But that's yes, but not everybody's passion is going to turn into money.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So one of the most underrated words in the English vocabulary, and I'm sure other languages have the same word, but they say it in their language. The most underrated word, in my opinion, in English is a 4-letter word. And it's SOME, some.
Okay.
Right? Some of the people, right, who do everything the right way. I got a saying, do the right thing the right way till you get the right results. That should equal success, but only some of those people will ever see true success. Some of the people doing everything right, some of the people will fail. Some of them will not. You know what I'm saying? So everything can be put in a perspective or context of some, right? So some of the people following their passions will make money, turn their passion into making money.
Okay.
Right? My passion is always going to be art. But I have multiple passions. I also have real estate as a passion. I'm a venture capitalist, right? My wife and I, the most money we'll ever make in this lifetime is through venture cap. And so we both have amazing, like, multitudes of passions, and we live them. So if you take out the money aspect of life and live your passion, you'll find gratitude, you'll find gratification, you'll find a beautiful place where you'll be satisfied. Now, over here, the money thing's a whole nother thing, right? So let's say you got a regular 9 to 5. All right, that's your thing, man. You got to pay your bills. You got a 9 to 5. When you come home, let's say putting together puzzles or, origami or, I mean, video games or whatever is your passion. Yeah. That's a space and time, a little bit of time in your life that you can devote to your passion to take your mind away from the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So not everybody working hard, doing everything right, not everybody's going to make it. It's just not possible. You know what I'm saying? Turning your passion into money is the hardest thing that you could ever do.
All right, so I'm saying, I'm hearing what you're saying, but now my question is, how do we pull more of us up to reach those levels of successes of whatever, but just putting more people, like, or even just, let's speak of immediate family. I want to bring up my siblings. I want my grandkids. I want my kids to be able to continue on the legacy. So, like, like you said, some people it's not going to click for some people, but how do we help more people click?
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting you asked that question because, obviously, you know, I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. I failed a lot, but I've also been incredibly successful. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of friends that call me up. Yo, Lenny, I got this project. I'm trying to do this. And I give them quality advice. I give them advice to get them there faster, quick. Like, it's no doubt about it. If you do what I say, you're going to be successful. But they don't. They go and try to figure it out for themselves. And I don't know why. But they call me back. Yo, Lenny, check it out. I need some more advice. What you What you mean you need more advice? I gave you, like, so I feel like people waste my time. So I'm very reluctant to give them more advice. So basically they gotta want it, man. If they don't want it, it's nothing that you can teach. It's nothing that, not every time, you can lead a horse to water and make them drink. Some of the times you can push it in.
Right.
But
So my only not challenge, but I guess the struggle is just when we talk about these inner city communities. When we talk about life coaches, we just talk about just exposure. There's no exposure in the inner city community, so it's like how do we get the hope to them to change those circumstances?
anything that anybody wants, they can Google it.
This is true. Everybody has an iPhone now,
I'm
right?
just saying, you public library, not right now because COVID, but there is literally nothing that you can't find at the tip of your fingers nowadays. And for those that don't have a phone, there are opportunities out there where you can get access to the internet. Right now, I taught myself how to establish an LLC. I taught myself how to build a business, the proper forms, tax forms, everything to file. I taught myself how to trademark. I taught myself how to do all that stuff from the ground up. I started 10 different companies from the ground up,
Right.
straight up. I took like 5 business courses, but I was an entrepreneur from birth. You know what I'm saying? In middle school, I used to sell candy, man.
It
I,
was in you.
you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, it's nothing that can't be. There's a lot of people out there that say, well, you need one-on-one. Well, you know what? One-on-one is real good, but you can Google anything, man. Anything. You want to know something, how to tie a shoe? Google it.
Right. No excuses.
No, I don't see excuses. What I do see is people that with real issues that it's hard to face those issues to even get them to a point of taking the next step. And that's communal. That's like a community based issue. Coming from where I come from, nobody ever taught me anything, right? So now I'm an adult. I teach my daughters. I don't even teach them. I tell them, click on this link if you want to be in my will. You know what I'm saying? And that link, once they click on it, it's a financial literacy course. And if they don't take that course, they don't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
That's cool. That's cool.
listen. Ain't nobody do it for me,
Okay.
right? And
Right.
and it's not cold because what I gave them, a head start in life, nah. They should know all this stuff. And I'm doing my first real estate project right here. And I'm gonna bring them in so they can see it step by step. But nah, man, look, it's easy, man. It's easy, but it's easy to get to a point where you can go into the computer and look it up and learn it. That's the easy part. But in people come from communities they have real issues and they're hurting. Lack of leadership in the household, lack of love and respect. It's not every household's a Brady Bunch sort of,
Right.
setup, man. And when you got moms and dads and who aren't doing the right thing, and some of them are trying and they're struggling and they don't have the attention to give to you and teach you and be there and guide you. I mean, brothers is dealing with real trauma, man. So if they're traumatized, on top of being traumatized, because that's what America is, right? Then how do you actually wrap your mind around doing something really good for yourself when you can't deal with this trauma and be okay to like advance your life unless you are built different, and not many people are built different. So I would tell people to seek help for the trauma that life has given you first, right? Because the last thing I ever want anyone to do is to not deal with the trauma, get on, make $1 million, and run out and spend it all and be back where they were. You know, I did some, man, you know, coming from where I come from, there was this dude with a Mercedes. He had a Rolex, and he would pick me up to go to flag football, and I'd be looking at his shit all the time, man. Like, I love that Rolex, man. I'm going to get me one day. I'm going to get me one. Yo, man, I got 5 Rolexes, man. Listen, I don't need them.
But I guess to your point, that's part of the trauma. But you were able to afford 5 Rolexes, so why not though?
Yeah, you know, and I get that, and I'm thankful, totally grateful. But the fact is, I don't need 5 Rolexes. I could have went and got one. Well,
maybe
I got
2.
one.
Maybe
Yeah,
2. Maybe 2.
Well, one for dress, one for casual, right?
There you go.
Yeah, but I caught myself. I was like, you know what? I got 3 cars, right? I got a 1970. This is back before I moved to California. I got a 1970 Chevelle SS Custom, right? I had a Mercedes-Benz G63 G-Wagon. I had a 911 convertible 4S, right? I mean, it's like, they're great cars, right? Then I moved to LA, and it's limited parking. I sold them all. I got rid of all of them. I don't have a car right now. I got my wife's car.
Just the thing. Don't make it you. It's not you. It's just the thing.
Nah. My sales guy says I can't order my shit until April. Oh shit.
Nah, so but I will say, even though you got the 5 Rolexes, right? You're also the man who bought his real estate team.
Oh, you seen
Rolex.
that video?
I saw that video. Yes.
Yeah. They made me. I didn't. In the video, they said, you want to tell them how much we made you, and I said, nah. They made me $1 million.
From selling one of your buildings.
Nah, see, check it out. I identified these 2 properties. They were on the market for 1.8, and I looked back and I realized that they were on the market for 3 years at 1.8. No price improvement. So I got a little tactic that I used on the East Coast. When I wanted a property badly, I would wait until wintertime. If it was still available, then on the coldest day in the middle of winter on a Monday at 10 a.m., I put in an offer. Straight up. You know how many people are happy to get an offer at 10 a.m. on a cold winter morning?
Right. Especially wintertime.
Yeah. So these 2 properties, side by side, 4 apartments above, 2 commercial spaces down below. They were on the market for 1.8 million. My offer was 1.1 million. No financial contingency. And they came back and said 1.3 million. And we ended up at 1.2 million. Done. I filled out the vacancies, and before I brought in the restaurant for the commercial space, I actually did a deal with the chef. I did a deal with the chef. Said, listen, I'm thinking about buying these buildings. If I buy these buildings, I'll give you a deal of a lifetime if you commit to taking both spaces. She was like, all right, cool. So I already had tenants in the whole building before I even closed. Held on to them for 2 years, bought them at 1.2. 2 years later, sold them for 2.1.
So, congratulations. 1, salute. Two, but again, see, we jumped, right? We went from are we doing these deals, now we doing these deals.
It's the same effort, man. Same effort. You do a $50,000 house. It's the same effort. It's probably a little harder than doing a $500,000 house. See, because a person that's buying, your client that's buying a $50,000 house, they're holding on to every dime like it ain't nothing, man. I mean, it's every dime matters.
Right.
Somebody who's buying a $500,000 house is not going to be. They're going to hold on and watch their money, but they're not going to be so like hell bent on coming after you and trying to put you in your place if something goes wrong. They're a little more understanding. So, in my opinion, and I have sold $50,000 houses before. The lowest house I ever sold was $17,000. I got a commission of $1,400 on that deal. The guy fixed it up, turned around, put it on the market for $140,000 in Phoenixville, and I listed it and sold it. So I've been there. I know what it's like to sell itty bitty houses. But I'm telling you, the effort that I put into selling those itty bitty houses is nothing compared to, you know what I mean? $500,000 house, man. It's a breeze selling a $500,000 house. You just gotta have the courage.
You gotta have who?
The courage.
You said have the what?
The courage.
Okay. All right. Now you
The
got
damn courage. The courage. You got to believe in yourself. Here's the deal. If you know your material, your listing material, if you know your material, you could walk into any building and sit in front of any client and sell them on a listing. You gotta know your material, man. You got to know your contracts.
So you wouldn't advise just, all right, I wake up tomorrow, I start looking at these $1 million deals though.
Why not?
I shouldn't it ain't no warm up to it. It's either you in or you out.
Well, if you have the credit and you have the down payment, what's stopping you?
Courage, confidence.
That's it.
If you work on that, then it's go time.
Someone could easily work on a lesser value house to get to that point. Keep going up, keep going up. But all they're doing is wasting time. As long as they know their contracts, as long as they can answer questions. And the simple part is, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that one. But I promise you, I'll get you the answer by tomorrow. It's that simple, bro. I think people make it hard because they're scared of failure. They're scared. They fear it. You know what I tell failure and fear? You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I fear one thing. One thing. You know what that is?
The man above.
I don't fear God, bro. I fear that I won't ever do what he asked me to do. And that's live out my blessings, man. He has put blessing after blessing after blessing in front of my face. Now I pray like this. Dear Lord, thank you for blessing me since before I was even born. Please continue to bless me with clarity and wisdom to know when one of your blessings are passing in front of me so I can reach out and grab it and do what you want me to do with it. I fear not being able to follow through on the blessings that God gave me. I'm doing a pretty good job, but I feel like I'm behind schedule.
Even now you feel like you're still behind schedule?
Listen, man, when you get to my level, it ain't no joke, bro. It's easy to get comfortable. It's real easy to get comfortable. My wife and I, we haven't had to make an extra dollar for like 7 years in this lifetime.
You're always chilling, but look, you was already hibernating before COVID got here, so COVID was a breeze.
Man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now. I got an agent here in LA that found me a hell of a deal. It's a $2.5 million acquisition, 2.5 million build up, 5 million total deal, all plans, all everything already approved. We just waiting on permits. The seller is going to sell me a property that I ain't got to do nothing but turnkey, shovel ready. He has another opportunity in Texas. He just wants out. So, I mean, 5 units, 5 condo townhouse units, 5 million on the backside is 7.2. I make 2.2. If I wasn't already a millionaire, I'd be one after this deal.
Mm. All right, look, don't. All right, just give him a second to digest all of that. Give him a second. Give him a second. Whoo! Can I call you Uncle Lenny? Can you be my new uncle?
Stop, dude. Stop. Don't do me like that, man.
No, look. I'm just saying. Look, we appreciate it. Look, they even saying it. Look, we appreciate it. You definitely gave us a lot to digest tonight, but you gave it to us real simple. So I feel like, look, you can start taking these steps and start accomplishing these things. And for most people, look, if you made it through COVID and the other adversities in your life, it can happen. Don't second guess yourself.
Whoa. I had, throughout this whole COVID thing, I had 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. Oh man, it got me, man. I was like, man, I'm resilient. I got this. Boom, it hit me. I was like, cloudy head for like 2-3 weeks, man. I was like not myself. But then I had a talk with my friend Sakaya. Sakaya was like, look, bro, that ain't you. Come on, that ain't you.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah. So ain't nobody, perfect. And here's the deal. We all have trauma, right? We all have trauma. But open up your heart. Open up your heart to actually loving yourself the way you should be loved. And once you start loving yourself the way you should be loved, then you can have full empathy for other people. And I don't have attitudes. The only time I have an attitude is after, okay, this dude parked in front of my crib. I asked him not to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, hey, can you move your car, please? And he was like, this actually happened. He was like, why? Who are you? I said, I'm nobody, bro. I just, I put the cones here for a reason. Because I'm next to new construction, right? And I actually have people come to my house to do work sometimes. So it's like, I put these cones out here. He was like, you don't own the street. I said, look, let me tell you something, man. I'm just asking you, please. Like I said, you don't own the street. I said, look, this is how we do in Philly, homie. And I pulled back though. I was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right.
But because where we come from, you grow up with a chip on your shoulder, and it took me moving here to California to actually let that chip start going away. So my nickname is Zen Len, and I'm actually living up to it now.
Okay.
Because I don't have that attitude like I used to, I'm
right.
all like, yeah, bro, it's cool, man. It's all right. No problem, bro. It's all good, man.
Well, no, I would definitely salute for being able to even get to that space. That's definitely, dope. Definitely dope. Do you have
ask me a hard question. Ask me something like real.
Well, I won't say I really have hard questions. You answered all my questions I really had lined up. I didn't even have to go to my notebook. But what I did want to ask you is, do you have any books you could recommend that helps you along your journey, or any podcast that you think people should, to help them?
I'm a big fan. Let me tell you, can I tell you a story real quick?
Sure. I ain't going nowhere.
All right, check this out. I got a homie from back east. His name's Michael Rubin, right? Y'all might see him. He's all over the internet. He's a billionaire from the ground up, self-made. And he's out with DJ Khaled, Meek Mill, Jay-Z, all these people. If I text him, it take like 2 days for him to get back to me now. Right? So at the time I worked at Glen Mill Schools, I was about $5,000 in debt. And I was trying to save up so I can, get a house. And he had this, it was KPR. It was a warehouse where he sold sneakers. He used to buy them, the surplus from Nike, Reebok, and what have you, for like $2 a pair, go over to Europe, and then sell them for like $10, $15 a pair. He made a lot of money doing that. So I knew he was balling, you know, and he helped out a lot of our friends. And so I went to him one day. I was like, yo, bro, I need some help. He was like, oh, yeah, come into my office. So he's like, what's the deal? I said, I'm about $5,000 in debt. I need some help. He was like, all right, I tell you what, Wednesday, 10 o'clock, come to my office. I was like, word, man. I was all excited, man. Wednesday, 10 o'clock comes around. I go to Mike Rubin's office. He got his accountant right there. And, you know, before I left, he said, bring all your paperwork, all your debt and all that stuff. I said, all right, no doubt. Credit card, receipts, all that stuff. I brought him. I said, okay, what's up? Gave him to the accountant. The accountant said, hey, give me 20 minutes. Come back. I went and shot some ball in the warehouse. I came back. Him and Mike Rubin were on the other side of the desk. I said, yo, what's up? Thinking I'm going to get, you know, like 5 G's. Because I know my homie has helped. He helped a lot of our friends with money, man. I was just like, I ain't got nothing to lose. He was like, well, here's the deal. If you get a part-time job, you could have this paid off in a year. I looked at his account and I was like, what? He's like, yeah, if you get a part-time job, you could have this paid off in a year. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So basically, he walks out. Mike's like, man, I hope to help you out. Anytime you need my accountant, come back. I said, all right, cool, no problem. Love you, bro. Be good. Before I walked out, he's like, you know what? Hold up. I got something for you, man. I got something for you. He went into a closet, pulled out a little box, and gave it to me. I was like, what's this? He's like, don't you open it until you get home. Man, I was so excited. I'm in the car. I get home. I was vibrating. And I'm thinking it's like some cash in a box. You know, Mike hooked me up.
Right.
I open it up. It's Anthony Robbins motivational CDs.
Talking about Tony Robbins or Anthony Robbins. Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what the, man, this bull. I was getting ready to throw it away. Took it out the trash. I was like, you know what? On my way to work, I might as well put them in a CD.
Right.
So I did that, man. I did that. And that's who I recommend. You know, everybody knows his name. He's never let anyone down. Anyone who fed into the system and believed him and didn't try to recreate the wheel, anyone who actually did exactly what he said, they're better off for it. And I'm one of them. And the interesting thing is, a while later, I was at a club, and it was with Mike Rubin and a bunch of our other friends. And I walked up to him. I was like, yo, Mike, a couple of years ago, you know, I came to your office and I needed like 5 G's because I know you helped out a whole bunch of our friends. Right. And he was like, oh, yeah, what happened? I said, you basically put me in a room with your accountant and told me to get a part-time job, gave me a box of Anthony Robbins CDs, and that's it. He was like, I did that? I said, yeah. He was like, look, Lenny, on the real, you know, some of our friends actually needed the help, like really needed the help. You, out of everybody, out of all of our friends, you're probably the only one that doesn't. I have faith in you.
Well, do you remember what year that was? So this way, when I look this up, I can make sure I get the right copies.
It was Awaken the Giant Within.
I know that one.
That's it. That's the one that actually really started to tweak me. You know what I'm saying? The way I was thinking. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Oh, somebody just asked the question.
Yeah, what's up?
If you could change one thing about your hometown, what would it be?
If I could change one thing about my hometown, what would it be? It would literally be the inequity of I would change the percentages of the people that rent versus the people that own. In Northtown, where I'm from, there are more people that rent homes than own homes. And right. There's a couple of slumlords, and everybody know who they are. These are well-known people. You know what I'm saying? They don't take care of their tenants. They don't take care of their buildings. They don't take care of nothing. In my opinion, the county should ask them, not force them, but ask them, come up with a program and ask them, make it beneficial for those landlords that own all these properties that they rent to people. Ask them to help transition these people from, even if it's a rent to own. Because the people, I mean, they're already rich. Like, how much money do you actually need? You're not taking care of your tenants. You're not taking care of the properties. Help these people transition from rent to own, get a lump sum payment, go put it in your bank account, take your trip, or do whatever you want.
Right.
But help people start to buy homes. I don't know if you know it or not, but I gave, before I moved to California, my wife and I donated $1 million. Straight up. You can look it up. Habitat for Humanity.
I
You know
did
what
see the article. I did see
Yeah.
that.
we wanted people in my hometown, we wanted people to have a opportunity to own a home. You know what I'm saying? The house that I grew up in, I donated that house to Habitat for Humanity and gave them $100,000 to fix it. That's the house that I grew up in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's got to be more home ownership. There's got to be more people willing to say, okay, all right, I know people are hurting right now, okay? But even though they don't have the credit, I'm going to help them with a rent-to-own program. That's what I would change.
I like that. I like that. I don't. So I'm not as familiar with the rent to own, like how it works, all of it. But like for what we do,
It's a legal document. It's a legal document. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know, any attorney specializing in real estate can handle that between a landlord and a tenant. Now, I've never done it. I've done a contract, but it never ended up. He couldn't afford it. He couldn't qualify, right? And we hooked him up. But how we did it, right? Because I speak on experience. We set it up as a lease to own, rent to own. We took 6 months out of the year and counted that 6 months of rent towards his down payment to get him qualified.
right?
And he just didn't have enough money, or his credit was bad or whatever.
Right.
And I wasn't willing, right? Because this is a $800,000 house, right? I wasn't willing to bend over backwards to help him because my wife and I, we really just wanted to sell it outright.
Right.
You know, because he did a few things that, you know, in a crib, like leaving the windows open, going away for a week, and it was pouring raining that whole week. So I had to change out the whole floors. So even still, I was willing to look out for him, but not extra.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got you. But more so giving the renters the information and putting them in position to eventually grow from being tenants to homeowners.
Yeah, just basically you could do it over a year. Take half of the rent payments over a year, because it's just on paper, and apply that rent towards their down payment. It's that simple. You know, and the landlord could even give back a mortgage. You know, it's not hard. I mean, we're talking, you know, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $85,000 houses, really.
Right.
You know, to have the landlord set them up for success, giving their children a foundation and something to work towards, man. Do you know how many kids come home to houses that are rented by their parents, and they you know, it's if anything happens, they're out and they got to go somewhere else. I mean, we got to give these kids a foundation, man, to know that this is their home and they're going to rest their head down here and then go to school and not have to worry. It's horrible, man.
So that's one of the things about me being a realtor, me and my team. So
What?
My team, like we specialize.
No. You being a what?
Realtor.
A what?
Go ahead and say it, because you said it to me last time. Go ahead, say it.
Realtor.
Real.
There's no I in realtor. Come on. I mean, there's no I in realtor. Come on, homie.
Realtor. Okay, I got you. You said that to me last time, right? My fault. But what we like to do is educate the home buyers and help them build their credit, teach them how to like get their financials in order, so that look, you can learn how to buy a property. And even if we don't have grant programs, like look, we can teach you how to save what you have by, you know, just running your financials. Like not all, but some. It's not that they can't afford a house. They just don't stop to take the disciplines to cut back to be able to purchase a house.
Yeah. check this out. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
My credit was so, right? I needed to buy a car to get to work, right? Because I was driving a Hyundai Excel, no registration, no insurance. You know what I mean? I was broke, but I had to get to work. I got this brand new job, and I'm just, you know what I mean, driving. And I finally got up enough money for a down payment. And I go in, he's like, it's gonna be 13%. I'm like, nah, man, nah. Check this out. I'm gonna figure it out. So I said to one of my coworkers, I said, listen, I need you to drive me to work for 6 months. I'll help you with gas and I'll buy you dinner every time you drive me. He was like, no problem, no problem. Right? He's a good friend of mine to this day.
Okay.
So I went into the bank. I think it was PNC, right? Or whatever bank it was. I went in because I had a tax return. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going out spending my tax return on whatever, I took $1,000 from my tax return. I went into the bank and I came up with this idea and it worked. I went to the branch manager. I said, listen, I have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'd like to try it. He said, what is it? What's the idea? I said, I'm trying to buy a car, but my credit is shot. So I want to take this $1,000 that I have from my tax return and I want to buy a secured CD. I want to buy a CD, right? $1,000 that I had, I want to buy a CD, but I want to buy a CD that I won't get penalized if I cash it in early. Okay. He was like, well, how much of a CD do you want to buy? I said, I have $1,000. I want to buy $1,000 CD from your bank. He was like, okay, what's the next step? I said, I want to take out a loan, a secured loan. I want to secure it with the $1,000 CD that I just bought from you. And he was like, wait, run that by me again. I said, I have $1,000 I want to give you. I want a CD from your bank in return. Then I want to give you back this CD and you give me a loan, $1,000 loan. He was like, that's brilliant. I said, will it work? He was like, I think it will. So I gave him the $1,000. He gave me a CD back, $1,000 CD back. I used that CD to get a secured loan of $1,000. So basically, I walked out the bank with $1,000. I walked into the bank with $1,000, and I walked out of the bank with $1,000. Right. But I didn't walk out of the bank. I took that $1,000 and I put it into an account, and I had them automatically withdraw the monthly payment. So I just set it and forget it. 7 months in, I walked into the bank. Hey, I want to cash out that CD. I want to pay off my loan. Took care of it, walked out with the difference, and I established good credit. So I thought of that, boy. Me. Who put this thing together? Me. That's who.
No, but that was really dope. And I hope y'all caught that. Let me see. Did anybody ask anything else? No, I don't think anybody asked anything else. But
I want a hard question. Give me something hard.
Hold on. Let me see. I mean, like I said, honestly, you literally answered.
Hold on. Peep this.
Beautiful. Woo! Is that a pool?
Oh, yeah. My neighbor just put in a pool right there. Yeah, but wait till you see my pool.
Oh, yo, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank you, boy.
I do have a question for you. Yeah. In regards to the market, like right now, you see numbers at an all-time high right now. Do you think now is still a good time for people to get in the game, or should they wait? Like, do you foresee like maybe the market shifting?
Listen. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Real estate goes up, it goes down. No matter what bad thing happens in any type of market, there's somebody on the other side making money. Stocks go down, people made money. Stocks go up, people made money. Real estate market goes down, people make money. It goes up, people make money. You make money either way. You just got to figure it out. Now, what I do, right? Real estate market goes down. That's great. That's an opportunity to buy. I had a bunch of people calling me, yo, Lenny, man, Lenny, I got an idea for this, that, and the third. I said, whoa. That's a real good business idea, right? But you don't have proof of concept. You're going to spend all this money. You're going to spend all this time during COVID trying to build a business that you might make it, you might fail. Why do that? Why do that? Walk into a business that's already a current business that's struggling, sit down with the owner, and come to an understanding. The best time to buy an existing business is through this whole COVID thing. You get it at rock bottom prices. You just got to have the wherewithal to be able to withstand the time, because time, no one knows when it's all going to be over. No one knows when it's all going to be. So you got to figure out evolutionary ways, right, to sustain that business. A lot of restaurants got caught up because they didn't have delivery set up. The restaurants that did have pre-existing delivery set up, they were able to get through it all.
Right.
Curbside pickup is easy. COVID hurt everybody, but even still, a lot of people made more money during the COVID-19.
Right.
So there's money to be made either way. So how I do it, obviously, there's foreclosures, right? So there's one thing I don't do in real estate. I do not go into depressed neighborhoods where people, you know what I'm saying? People are not going to be able to take advantage of the transitioning of the neighborhood. I don't go in and develop properties where other people are doing gentrification. I'm totally against that. You know, yes, gentrification is good for the neighborhood. It increases overall values and whatnot, but it also hurts the people that are there, right? That sometimes their houses have been handed down for years. Right. And these poor people, they can't afford the taxes now because of the new development. So I don't believe in gentrification. I think it hurts people and it helps a little. Hurts a lot, helps a little. So I do foreclosures, you know. That's a little different. I don't feel guilty about purchasing a property that I don't know the person. So the fact is, you know, they probably were in over their head.
Right.
You know, and lost the property. That ain't got nothing to do with me, because the end game is, yes, I'm going to make money, but yes, I'm going to actually give some equity, right? Because that's what I do in my real estate deals, right? I leave equity on the table. So if I get a house for a really good deal, I also sell it for a really good deal. So whoever's buying the house, moving in case of an emergency, they'll already have a little bit of equity that they could tap into to get them out of that situation. I don't go full price because, I mean, that's stingy.
That's a real different way of looking at it. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, but it's easy for me because, you know, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? It's easy for me to have this type of mindset because I ain't really got to worry. You know what I mean? Financially.
Right. So
I'm saying, all I'm saying is I got a good heart, and yes, I do. That's what I do. But I had to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was just like, yo, I'm going to go do this. I was trying to get every dollar I was trying to get. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it all. Like, I want every dime. And until I got to that point where I was, okay, I'm good. Now it's time, because after I take care of myself, now it's time to take care of some other people. And that was my gift to people, helping them out. So
but that goes to my question earlier. Now you're pulling people up. So I love that. I love that. That's why I said, like, you've been answering all the questions without me asking them. So, you know, but that, and meanwhile, we do want to be mindful of your time. We definitely appreciate it. But so you're not taking any more friend requests. Should we possibly see like another interview or anything coming up in the future from you?
Look, this is my first time doing this ever.
And we appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
And you got it. And because it's you, I mean, you're a dope dude. You cool.
Thank you.
You know, you the man, boy. You know what I mean? I love that you teach. You teach, and it's admirable, man. I totally respect you 100%. So I'll do this with you again. But
Okay.
yeah, I just no more social media. Not burnt out by it, but because it's a great tool to connect and teach. But I got so many other things I need to focus on. You know what I mean? I'm just not trying to.
Sometimes you gotta disconnect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look. Well, we definitely appreciate it. I tell you what. We'll wait to the end of the year, right? We'll save the next one for the end of the year. But when I come back at the end of the year, I'm gonna have some work done for you in regards to me going up in this journey ladder.
I'm
So,
watching.
you know, so definitely I'm working on one of my bigger deals now. You know, so trying to shake the tree and see what's what. I'm working on this triplex, and I'm working on this triplex in the Temple area. So like normally, you know, I just do the easy flicks and flips, but this one's going to be, you know, one of my biggest rehabs to this day. So hopefully
Okay.
I can pull it
Tell me
together.
about it. Tell me about it real quick, if you don't mind.
I can talk about it. So purchase price is about 125,000. It's 3 units. I'm a rehab all 3 units. I gut everything out to the brick, new mechanicals, new everything. Rehab should be about 160,000. Should take me roughly about 6 months to do the rehab, maybe 30, 60 days to get tenants. And my goal is to do the burst strategy, refinance it within 12 months.
Very good. Very good.
And so I got the ARV roughly around 400,000.
I tell you what, you're on your way to being a millionaire. Yo, I want to be a billionaire so bad.
Well, you know, like you said, it's funny you said the stuff you said earlier, and I had to look back and think about my journey. So like, as I failed that test 10 times, I wasn't working. So luckily at the time, at the time my girlfriend, but now my wife, we were living in the house together. So she had a good job working at the hospital, and she held it down through that process. So like you said, like, you know, so my thing now for her, like she's working still in the hospital. I got to get my level up so she don't have to work at the hospital unless she wants to work.
Well, here's how I feel about that. I got a couple of friends that take pride in, look, my wife don't work, bro. My wife don't work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why not? Right? 2 incomes in the crib building up. You got to have a number, man. What's your net worth? What do you want it to be? 2 million? 3 million? Tell me.
So honestly, I didn't think that far. I'm just trying to
Whoa. What do you want your number to be? Just say it.
1.5.
That's your net worth?
That's what I need.
That's what you need for what?
Comfort life.
Hold on. I'm putting you on the spot, bro. I'm asking you the questions now.
Look, it's fine. So you ready? I'm ready. Hold on. Let me put.
All right.
I want this thing to jump out.
So you need 1.5 for what?
So I'm trying to pay personal debt for myself, my wife. Also I told you I'm trying to move over to the main line. I'm trying to get out the city. And then outside of that, I'm trying to position myself so that my kids, they got their college money already set aside.
1.5 ain't enough for you, bro, because you have the potential to make so much more. So much more. Now, if you didn't have the potential to make so much more, I wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, look, if 1.5 is your number, stick to it. But if you keep doing exactly what you're doing, what's going to happen is you're going to hit that 1.5. And then you might surpass that 1.5. Then you're going to have to sit you and your wife down and be like, all right, we're going to have to create a new number. So why not just go for 3?
Well, funny, I didn't know my wife is watching. She said we need 10.5. I don't know what she's doing with 10.5.
Listen, 10.5, it's a nice number. You know what I'm saying? You know, look.
So,
look,
can I be honest,
10
though?
hold on. 10.5, right?
Right.
If that's your number, that's your number, is it not?
It's my number. Wife said that's our number.
That's what I'm saying. Wifey, go wifey. Listen, there ain't nothing stopping you from shooting towards that 10.5, right? That 10.5 is not just going to change your life. It's going to change your kids' life. If you teach them exactly how to do it, you got to send them the link and make sure they click on that financial literacy. You know what I mean? So here's the deal with 10.5. That's a lot of money, right? But everything you're doing right now is leading up to that. You said 1.5 when I first talked to you about this, and now it's 10.5 because another perspective came in and went through your mind real quick. You thought about it. You like, well, look, wifey said it's got to happen. But if you guys are doing it together, it's going to happen faster. So everything you're doing, keep building those building blocks up and up and up, and then you can make the jump. You can transition to $1 million projects. It's scary. It is really scary. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to straight up tell you, fuck fear. Just
Let's go.
The sooner you do it, the sooner it'll be done.
And you ain't scared of it no more.
Yo, bro, look, you see where I live, right?
I see it.
I got the $1 million listing agents looking for cribs for me. I got the Jason Oppenheim from the Selling Sunset Netflix. He sold me this crib. Right?
Right.
I got an agent that works for him looking for me. And I met this other dude named Angel. And Angel was like, hey, what's up? I said, hey, what's up? We hit it off. So I got 5 top agents in this whole area looking for me. Angel just called me up Wednesday. I think, what was that, March 4th? Wednesday, March 4th or something like that. It was a Wednesday.
Okay.
He texted me, yo, bro, check your email. I said, I'm driving right now. Call me. So I'm driving. He calls me. He's like, yo, did you see the email? I said, nah, I'm driving, bro. He's like, yo, I got a project. I don't know if you're interested in it. I said, what's the deal? 2.5 acquisition, 2.5 build out. You're out at 7.2. I said, what? That's like 2.2 mil I'm going to make. He was like, basically minus my commission. I said, all right. I'll tell you what. What's the deal? He said, today's Wednesday. It's going on the market on Friday. I said, okay. Text me the address. I'm in my car right now. I'll swing by.
Right.
This joint is literally West Hollywood, 5 minutes from my crib. Yo, I rolled up. I went down the street. There's like 5 new construction projects. That's a win, baby. That right there is a win. And so I texted him. I said, yo, I love it. Write it up.
Let's go.
Less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours. That whole thing happened. By Thursday, we had an agreement, an accepted agreement. By Thursday, we had an agreement. It never even hit the market on Friday. There's about 20, 30 dudes in LA that are mad right now. They're mad right now because they don't have it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the deal. Look, I have it. You know what? You know why I have it? Because I did my homework. I was prepared to have it. Here's the deal. Check this out. You ready? I already established my financing. Now give me a second. I'm gonna cut something on. Hold on.
Hey, I ain't. Ron, heavy. Talk about it. So those of you who don't know, definitely Google Lenny Bazemore. Definitely Google him. You definitely can see some of his articles and even some of his other interviews. you know, if you guys want to learn any more. But we're gonna give him a minute, see if he's gonna jump back in here. Don't forget, guys, hit the link in my bio. We got there we go.
Boom. Yo, bro. Yo.
No bad days.
Straight up.
Got that night lighting out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, that's
Downtown.
beautiful.
That's downtown LA.
Woo!
See where the lights are?
I see it. I see the
That's
strip.
Sunset, that's Sunset Boulevard.
Nice,
That's
man.
crazy, huh?
Nah, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But definitely, thank you again. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely wishing you nothing but success on that deal. You know what I mean? Look, you about to have me on the MLS now, hawking stuff. Jotting my calendar down, waiting for the winner to see if it's still there. And I'm
10.5, right?
10.5. 10.5. I'm getting ready to put it in the book. Start executing. You know, one deal at a time. So definitely appreciate it.
You got it. It was good. It was good being on this. And listen, man, this is my first time, so it's cool. It ain't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Right? So yeah, let's do it again though. And to everybody out there who tuned in, listen. Do not stop. Do not stop. The sooner you get it done, the sooner it'll be over with. You go on to something else, man. Dreams, goals, and ambitions, and they ain't nothing to play with, man. I'm serious. If you got a little bit of trauma, or you think you might, because of the way you grew up, or something that tragically happened to you, or just even if you think some help in therapy, or go to seek the help of a life coach, right? Because the last thing we want you to do is to be successful and then have whatever was haunting you, like, to be buried, and then come back after you're successful to mess your shit up. You know what I mean? We want you to thrive in life, man. We want you to be blessed in life. You know, and look, get on your hands and knees. Shit, you ain't even got to get on your hands and knees. Stand where you are and pray. You know what I'm saying? Dear Lord, thank you for blessing me since before I was even born. Please continue to bless me with the clarity and wisdom to know when one of your opportunities are passing in front of me, so I can reach out and grab it and do something with it. All right, now get to it.
Look, thank you. Appreciate it. And definitely salute to you. Salute. Look, they in here dropping all these fires and praying hands to you, man. They in here dropping it. Look.
Peace out.
Nah, thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too.